Actually, that might end up being in the VOD. I don't know. That would be very funny, in my honest opinion. Alright. No, not YouTube. Not making dwarves unique. Stream the thing I'm asking you to. There we go. Alright. I said stream. Be alive! Well, in any case. Greetings and welcome. I am Joffrey, and with me is Darkest Light and Vector Maximus, and today we are discussing Tinto Talks number 14, which they're both very eagerly trying not to spoil for me, apparently, because they really like it. And they're full of hope, which is unusual. Dark is usually a doomer when it comes to this stuff. He's like, yeah. Yeah, usually you are. You know,
Joff. The subject matter, but yeah, you can be a little doomer at times.
This is so sad.
That's right. You were still suspecting up until the moment that we saw it confirmed. You were suspecting that we were going to have static trade zones, and Vector and I are just like,
I was worried about it, alright? I was real worried.
I mean, there's valid worry, and then there's doom and gloom, and you were treading in doom and gloom an awful lot.
It keeps the three of us interesting. I'm the copium, you're the doom and gloom, and then Vector's the rational one who's like, now, we just don't know yet. Pavia's gonna tell us in the comments down below that he can't talk about that yet, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my byword for every single one of these live streams and every one of these Tinto Talk discussions is wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Wait and see. Things shall be revealed in due time.
We got
Is that you?
We have a beautiful little War of the Roses image here.
Yeah, you can tell with the two roses, white and red.
Mm-hmm. It's white, yeah. It's a very good piece of. I gotta save this for sure.
I really hope that they find a way to integrate all these into the actual game and not just the screens.
Because in CK3 you've got your decisions where you open it up and you've got artwork there. So maybe they'd have something like that, but I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice piece of art for sure. And you've got the Welsh flag in the background too. The Welsh are here.
The goddamn Welsh with their bows.
Pew pew pew. But now, alright. Welcome everyone to where we talk about our completely secret, not yet announced game. In today's Tinto Talk, we will delve into a completely new feature. I have absolutely no idea what it could be. Small reminder, it's very much work in progress, nothing is final. Of course, as Vector says. Yep. We shall see. Something could look good now, and then they just have a terrible take on it later. Who knows? But, or the opposite. The core of the system was one of the first things I designed back in spring of 2020, a feature that could be described as both a narrative and mechanical guide for the game. This is something that has been inspired by the incident system from EU4 and also by the international crisis mechanic of Wiki 2, but not really like either of those. Huh. Okay. What could that mean? I guess something that a lot of countries... Yeah, I suppose so, but I guess it's something that involves a lot of countries.
It shall be revealed.
Yes. Our new situation system. Okay. So what is a situation then? Good question! You could describe it as content that involves multiple countries over a period of time. In Project Caesar, we are using this feature to create a historical narrative that creates different experiences, as our goal is to have an immersive and varied experience for the player. A situation can have unique actions, events that trigger, and other types of unique content. And each of them will have its own UI and map mode. Woo-hoo-hoo! Ooh. Glitched EU. This is the only time you've ever said something on the forums and your questions got answered by Johan. Ooh, oh well, maybe we'll find you in here then. Oh. That would be a first for these. That someone in the stream is someone that has been speaking in these forums. This is looking very juicy. Just the premise alone. But yes, I'll continue along. All my questions will be answered. And before you two say it. If a situation may involve or affect you, it will show with an alert in the color of purple. Yes, purple's good. Purple's a wonderful color. The Black Death. Oh no! I just noticed it says that at the bottom. Let's take a look at some of the situations we have in the game right now. The Black Death. Oh no!
Our Father who art in heaven.
I was Keck W unaware. I did not suspect this at all. Oh god. This was the first situation we created, and it has been going through many revisions in the last 4 years. Oh, this is a rule! This is like the CK3 rule sliders.
I'm incredibly happy that the game rules continue to spread.
It's so
But
good.
your information makes me incredibly interested.
Show all. Huh? Yeah.
So, like, being able to see enemy armies down to the man versus just being able to see them in a vague sense of they're stronger or weaker, or maybe they'll be tied instead to your spy network in a country. It's something that people have been complaining, you know, the more hardcore players, you know, like in CK3, for example, there's a very common submod I see used. I can't remember what it's called, but it makes it so you can't tell what somebody's stats are, you know, because then or even what their traits are necessarily, unless they're like in your court or in your realm and so on. Because it's like, if you're marrying a noble from across Europe, how are you supposed to be able to know that they're a genius with 500 martial and 250 entry?
Well, you see, they were born with the big, massive candle cake. It looks like a cake made of candles, really. The genius just know. You just know. It actually looks tasty. Like if it was actually a cake, I'd eat it. But anyway, you can't wait to lose half your country's pops in the first 15 years of the game. Oh yeah, we were just talking about France in the last time we did one of these streams, and and how massive Paris's pops are going to be. But I bet I could get fucked up so easily.
I believe historically Europe had recovered to its original pops and then some by 1500.
That's still over a century away, though.
Well, it's a good thing this game goes a lot longer than that.
Aha!
In parts of Europe, it took about 80 years for population size to recover, and in some it took more than 150. So it varied depending on region.
Ooh,
but 150
boy.
at the absolute latest. So yeah, 1500. 1500s at the absolute latest.
We'll see how that ends up working then. Yeah. But yeah, the bubonic plague disease and the Black Death situation will emerge in the historical year of 1346. So 9 years, I think. 9 years after game start, it's gonna fucking slap you. Hopefully. Well, maybe it says outbreak year. Origin, yeah. There's the other one right here. Exact before I could even finish thinking of the desire for there to be a setting for you to choose where it shows up. They have me covered. The bubonic plague disease and the situation will emerge from a random location anywhere in the Kipchak or Astrakhan or Yik areas. So I suppose then it's not going to be a case of, it just shows up in Genoa. Like, it's going to be in the steppe, and then it gets to Genoa through the trade, as it did. And maybe, if you're playing as Genoa, you could probably just shut down the trade for a decade, and just be like, nope, everyone stay away. Oh, quit it, Anonymous. We're not talking about Vicky right now. We're talking about an interesting game. Yes. But yeah, I suppose there might be different options for where it spawns, or maybe it will just be Central Asia or random. Who knows? Wasn't this Dev Diaries supposed to be?
That's the next
Oh.
map, which comes out, I think, Fridays.
Yes, I have a stream scheduled for that as well. Because the next, yes, the one they're talking about on Friday is going to be a discussion on, well, we're going to be whichever one of us are available at the time. We'll be talking about their map, which is of the Baltic, which is on Friday. But right now they're talking about a new mechanic, and this mechanic is situations. So
They have 2 a week, Armis.
yeah,
One that's a
technically.
map, one that's essentially gameplay mechanics.
And of course, there's the Byzantium name rule. They've shown us that before.
The Greek country.
The Greek country centered
Yeah,
around
they're very
Byzantium.
emphasizing the reasoning behind the default name.
Be known. The Greek country centered around Byzantion will be known as the Byzantine Empire.
Hey, can
No.
we, if Kingdom of the Greeks isn't an option, I'm gonna riot.
I need it to be an option. I need it.
Actually, the way it would be referred to is the Empire of the Hellenes.
Yes, but
Or
King
Empire
of the
of the
Greeks
Yeah.
is insulting to
I-
it, though.
I would be down for Empire of the Hellenes, and then still the ruler is King of the Greeks. It wouldn't be. Romaboo's in shambles. Yeah, just don't tell Valar. Just don't tell him.
Yeah, I believe it was referred to most of the time in the Western countries was the Empire of the Greeks in the later medieval period.
Let me see.
So, the origin can just be historical or random. Sad days. You can't have random other places you specifically want it to be. I wanted to specifically start in Italy, right next to Milan, so Dark doesn't have enough time with his goofy freaking Milan gameplay. He don't have time to react. It'll already be there. Suffer.
I mean, I'm sure Milan will have special stuff around it.
Yeah, probably. If they're famous for it.
Bonfire.
Maybe.
Or an
Usually-
event that helps it.
Usually it will happen from 1346 as the bubonic plague appears somewhere in Central Asia and starts spreading through the Old World, killing 40 to 60% of the population in the affected areas. Oh boy! I can't wait!
It happens, everybody dies.
Yeah. Spreads through adjacencies, moving armies, or through trade! This is gonna be great. There are ways you can attempt to alleviate this, but the efficiency of it is low and the cost high. You can try to isolate your court, expel the sick, blame minorities.
And other
Very-
very efficient ways to deal with the problem.
I love this. The most efficient things you can do: hide the court, kick the. I mean, kicking the sick people out's better, but. I bet that's something that happened a lot, but it's I was not prepared.
Yes, the Jews got blamed a lot.
I bet that happened. That does not surprise me at all.
Paradox
Press
of
X
this
to-
audience.
Yeah. They don't understand.
A shining
For
beacon
me-
of European democracy.
For me, it needs to be the opposite, though. Because you need to grab all the minorities together to make a single county of that culture. And then I'll be happy.
Yes, we know about your plans for Jewish Andorra.
Yes, and you will be reminded of it continually. It'll take me like 5 months to become good at the game to do it, I'm sure, but I'll try. I'll try.
Andorra.
Oh no. That's a different kind of oh no right there.
It's already in Italy. It's already in Italy.
Slowly spreading centrally, but some traders has already taken it to Italy. Oh no, not that picture. Yo! More map though! More map though! What are they doing?
True. We see more map.
Holy shit, that's that. What the hell? They're just giving this away for free? Excuse me? We see the
Yeah.
political map of Ireland because of this?
Ireland just is split. It's like they
Kiev!
dropped the High Kingship, and it was like, oops, all fiefdoms.
Be me, like two generations distant from Ukraine. My great grandfather is from there. Kiev's on the map.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. They've changed the setup, I think, from the earlier one we saw, because Kiev didn't. I do not think was an independent polity. I think it was under the Golden Horde in the previous map.
Hmm.
So, interesting.
Ruthenia shall be restored.
Must be. Kievan Rus.
Yeah.
Too bad it's already burnt down.
True
It's already.
They're just Tartar taxmen.
Kiev's already been burned, razed, destroyed, and now the Black Death is coming through. You're just
Hey. If you can restore the Byzantine Empire, you can restore Ruthenia.
I mean, honestly, the Byzantines are in a slightly better position than Kiev at the moment because the Golden Horde is knocking on Kiev.
If
The
you can
Byzantines
restore the
are-
Byzantine Empire in EU4, you can restore Kiev in this.
I mean, true.
That can't be that difficult. You're probably a tributary under the Golden Horde,
You're
though.
probably a tributary.
But I don't know. You could probably work with Muscovy to get out. But I guess the deep
The
the
Golden
deep like
Horde
brown.
is going to blow up eventually.
I don't know what the colors mean exactly, but I imagine that like the deep brown is like it's been toast, like it's been through here already and it's leaving, maybe, or maybe it's just how much it's affected the region.
How many people it's killed so far in that area?
That would make sense because that would explain both why it's greener on the edges and then yeah.
Yeah, infection rate versus damage done, something like that. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Color is where it's fading or it's casualties. It'll be intriguing.
Yeah, Wales does look goofy. I love that. Because the little unpainted impassable.
Is not being painted. I'm assuming.
That's not. This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it.
I am interested that they have the Scottish Civil War now labeled Balliol for the pro-English side.
Whatever the hell, this tiny ass little
That's
goofy.
BAL, that's Balliol.
Yeah, that's Balliol's enclave there.
You can also see Scotland has an enclave too.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
It's like the yin and yang symbol, Joffrey.
Inside you are two Scottish people. One is actually secretly an Anglophile, and the other is Scotland forever.
I guess then. So yeah, the Balliol. That's then I guess the ones that are trying to subjugate England, Scotland for the crown.
Yeah, that's the English aligned claimant to the throne.
England popping off in this game for sure, though. God damn. England and France are going to be crazy.
I don't think France is going to be.
To answer a comment I see in the YouTube chat, I believe Denmark is currently, what is the term? Fucking dying and disintegrating into its composite parts. So that's why Scania is independent.
We had
at least
talked.
They're in Estonia.
They are in Estonia, and it looks wonderful. Fantastic. But we had talked about.
The Livonians are coming for it.
We had talked about the fact that like we were looking at some borders earlier, and the fact that this made it look like the Denmark was united, but it's really just that Scania is broken off, and that's how they're representing that disintegration, I suppose, which is interesting. Gives us a better look at this is just horrible. This is just so awful, but I love it. Just
Voltaire's nightmare.
Austria big as well. But
I love the HRE. Doesn't make me want to take a rusty spoon to places.
The Teutonic Order is And then it just kind of spills out. That's the funny thing. This just disgustingness of Western Europe just kind of spreads out. It bleeds into Silesia and Poland.
And then right across the panel, you have the nicely centralized Kingdom of England. None of these random ass fiefs.
And then you get Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland, equally horrible. Oh god, what is that?
We don't look at Ireland.
What is this? What is this tag? Because you got like 2 down here, and then this.
I want to say, but I'm not 100%.
I think that's Connacht.
There's a tiny one here. There's Pale, which is either another English vassal or it's independent for some reason.
I'm pretty sure that Pale is an English vassal because I imagine it's a tag that would, if there was a tag in that spot that was Irish, it'd have a different name.
Probably.
Like,
Probably. There's so many of them. That's awesome. I cannot wait to just take a hacksaw to this.
Also, Sicily is independent, but according to comments later on, I saw it, not dev comments, but it's in personal union with Aragon at the start date. So.
Oh, Arborea. The one independent Sardinian country. Forgot about that.
There's another little small independent Sardinian country.
Yeah. Where's that?
Food. That's what it is.
Yum! Yummy! I'm sure Mallorca would be fun to play in this. The HRE is a matter of perspective, yeah. Ulm's Dream. Here we go. What's this? Yeah, this is all Genoa. Genoa, is that? So there's the little bit.
It's Genoa's fault. Genoa brought back the Black Death.
It did. It's all Genoa's fault. I'm gonna be very curious.
Them to the ground. This post made by Turning Point Tuscany because they were my favorite EU4 nation.
Now, I imagine that the Black Death can go to other places. I think surely it's going to be able to go down through the mountains.
I believe Iran got hit by the Black Death, so yeah.
It's creeping in already, so
I'm pretty sure basically all of Eurasia got hit by the Black Death, except I want to say parts of India and sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah, I can't imagine that the trade routes were being particularly active at that point in time, so they probably didn't spread it down there much. Not that it would take much.
There was the Trans-Saharan trade, but yes, the Black Death didn't really make it across, to my knowledge.
It would be kind of hard for someone who has it to get across, I imagine.
Yeah, that's true.
But we even get some stuff down here. Gosh, they were giving us so much for free. God damn. What's up with my throat? We can see the actual political map mode, more or less, of the Belux.
Didn't we already see it?
The outlines, sort of. I'm pretty sure we didn't see actual names and confirmations of these names.
Before we saw the outlines, but not their names. I'm looking forward to a Trebizond Komnenos restoration run in this Thunderdome.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I swear I read somewhere that at this point in time, the ruler of the Aretinids is a frickin' Uyghur. I swear I read that somewhere, but I don't know.
It's not an historian, so it doesn't count.
That's true. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If they're a normal Uyghur, they're just not an historian, don't count. They're Tangrists, don't count. Muslim, don't count.
Just have to start as the Uyghur Eretnids, and then convert to Nestorianism.
Yes.
This is
I really hope it's true. Even if it's not like the country, if it's just he's the one dude, because I think it was a case of like he was set up as a governor of this area. But I don't remember for sure. Looks at Anatolia, Greek country centered around Byzantium. Will never be ballin'. What do you mean? What do you mean? Look at it, the Byzantine Empire. Look, it's got so much more land. Look at it.
Well, and just
It's
think,
popping off.
looking
It's got
at all this
Philadelphia.
chaos- look at all this chaos in Anatolia and in the Middle East and Iran and such. There's a 1-year-old baby somewhere in the Eurasian steppe at this very moment, preparing to fuck it all up.
Oh no. It's the lame.
Yeah, Timberline
It's-
is,
The lame ass, goofy ass motherfucker hanging out there somewhere.
I call him lame because he wishes he was Genghis.
They said somewhere that they're gonna make it an actual like
yeah,
post
he's
game
gonna
start
be a-
thing
Yeah, he's going
where
to be
Timber's gonna pop up.
a doom stack of a quintillion troops just conquer everybody.
Okay,
Going to
Chase.
CK3 Genghis Khan in
Oh.
EU5.
Oh, actually, yeah, Egypt and like what's going on down there is an interesting point because it does look like it's all united under some like
Yeah, the
I guess
Mamluk
the Mamluks.
Sultanate is kind of at the apex of its power at this stage.
But yeah, I bet that in this game, I bet that at the start of a game of EU5, the whole situation down here is probably going to be so incredibly volatile. I bet it's going to be so easy for the Ottomans or the Byzantines to just get smashed and they're just gone. Like you could probably the Eretnids are probably because they're the second strongest. Well, they're the same. We're like okay. I don't know how strong the Ottomans actually are going to be at the start, but they're big. That's the point.
And the Ottomans are probably the 3 biggest candidates in my mind.
And all of them have a lot of people around them they could just gobble up.
Nom, 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 nom.
The Eretnids have some bigger threats way closer, but I bet you could see situations where the Karamanids, for example, just grab people in the West faster than the Ottomans do.
We better have achievements for the Saruhanids.
Why?
Saruhan the White.
For oh. Yeah, is that what you're getting at, Vector? The Saruhanids?
Yes.
Saruhan of many colors?
It's been a meme since EU4 because Aragon could get a mission to defeat Saruhan.
Aragon is a mission to defeat Saruhan.
Yeah, Aragon.
That's great. That's great.
They could also get a thing for taking Gondor.
Oh, we need Gondor and Ethiopia. Wow. I wonder what that's a reference to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
It's a really subtle one. Because I don't know.
Yeah, only men of exquisite culture have a high enough intellect to get that reference.
to understand why Saruhan and Aragon might want to both conquer Gondor in
You have to
Ethiopia.
have an extremely high IQ to understand Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fake Paradox gamer because I didn't know about the Saruhan memes. I am sorry. I do not peruse the forum so much as you silly fools might. Huh. But anyway, gosh, the map. I'm gonna be stuck staring at this map forever because like, oh gosh, you get like,
No, we should,
what's Crete doing? But Dark can't. What is this?
Joffrey, it's just a subject of Venice, Joffrey. That's it.
But and who's that? Is that the Ubits?
Wow.
Look at 'em.
Who is that at the top to the left of Sweden? It just says Kingdom of. You
look,
can
it's-
never figure it out.
Dark, it's the Ubits. Look. Whoa. Whoa. Look at him go. Fine, fine. I'll go back to the Tinto talk. Jeez. Bald man loses his mind over the Mediterranean island. Has to leave. They'll just take over the stream now. I'll just have to sit here and just make pouty faces while they read stuff and discuss amongst each other. And anytime I speak up, they'll be like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, who gave
Joffrey
you
can't be
permission to
trusted with
speak, Joffrey?
control.
Alright. So moving along, the Italian Wars. In the age of discovery, this is probably the most important situation for anyone in Western Europe. It's about control over Italy and what will happen as soon as a French or Iberian major power, or the Emperor, declares war on an Italian power. Ooh, ooh. Anytime any of them does that, oh, well, that's gonna happen. Surprise, surprise.
So just easy.
Oh,
Just
that's not yet.
conquer or unite Italy before the age of discovery.
That's probably not, yeah. But I mean, yeah, I'm sure Aragon's gonna have reason to declare war on them. The Emperor's probably gonna... the AI might have a little more trouble making that happen, but we'll see. There will be up to 6 different leagues that will fight over control of Italy. There's a French league, an Iberian league, and the Emperor's League, and up to 3 Italian leagues. The first 2 will dynamically set their leaders based on strength calculations. If one league gets hegemony over Italy, owning 60% of the region, either through conquest or diplomacy, then they'll win. The Italians can also win by making sure the foreign leagues are destroyed through a special peace deal. Leagues can be abandoned, and anyone owning locations in Italy can join one of them. So this is like the struggle, then, in that way. We're just being in the struggle zone.
I think it's also more like the religious leagues in EU4, except there's 6.
I just mean for the purpose of if you're in the zone, you can get involved. The Pokemon League will never be triumphant in Italy. I don't know. If you can name your league, then maybe. Maybe you can start the Pokemon League in Italy. For dominance. The situation allows enemies and rivals of foreign league leaders to intervene and assist the defending Italians, and it also grants access to unique interactions in order to send aid of any kind, attract cheaper condottieri, and even create new Italian leagues. Okay. So that'll just make the whole situation with people trying to get involved in Italy more complicated and nasty. If you're trying to conquer the place where people can then, it's kind of like the Vicky 3, where the plays mechanic, you can just side with someone. So here, it just anyone who's involved somehow can choose to support a defender. Mutually assured destruction. Yes, glitched Eevee indeed must join the Pokemon League for Italy. Yes. Aid of any kind. Of the Okay. Yeah. Maybe Portugal sends who would it be? Maybe Hungary sends weapons to Venice to hold off Austria. Maybe. Yeah. All right, finished that. Oh, we get a little map of it too. This is how the situation would look if the event fired in 1337. If Austria was to be the Holy Roman Emperor and Aragon was the dominant power in Iberia with vested interests in Italy. The Red Turban Rebellions. Oh God. Frickin' China and all of its rebellions.
Then it broke again.
I need to watch History of the Entire World again.
Wait, Arborea is the only one in Sardinia.
That's
That's
Genoa.
Genoa.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, yes, you can make it out.
This is sad.
Oh yeah, because it also owns a Corsica. Derp.
Arborea is thick though. That's not small.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's
Usually-
Aragon and
Ye-
Genoa.
Usually, I see Arborea being really small.
It
Just,
has
like-
nowhere to go.
Oh no, it's got nowhere to go. But Italian wars.
The obvious
Italian
solution
wars.
is suck up to the French and use them to beat up
Yes.
the Aragonese.
Exactly.
And
And
the Genoese
then-
come and kill you.
No. You work with
I mean,
the
also
French just
part of
kills everyone
the
for you.
Sucking up to the French is that they protect you from Genoa too. But
Exactly. They just kill everyone, and it's a happy day. Because, you know, in EU5, just like EU4, you know, you're totally going to be able to just ally really big powers, and it will only take up one Diplo slot, and it'll be super easy, and you can just have them fight all your wars for you, right? Yeah. Like seeing Andorra being uninvolved. This is a
we
little.
want nothing to do with this bullshit.
We're. Oh.
I can't imagine that Andorra has much of a vested interest in Italy.
Maine isn't involved. Maine isn't involved. What does
Okay,
that
so-
mean?
It probably just doesn't care.
But all of France's subjects care.
Well, then maybe there's something special about Maine.
I don't know. Or maybe it's just something they're just coding something with Maine, and it's like not something that should be read into at this point, where it's like because work in progress, you know, and they don't want people to freak out about Maine for some reason not being a vassal, because that seems to be what's going on here. What the? I will lock.
It's Mallorca.
But why? Okay, whatever.
That's Mallorca.
I know, but yeah, Milan,
Helping the
Mantua,
big buddy Aragon to beat up the Italians.
Florence.
You got
Florence.
you got Pink League, Brown League, and Green League.
Florence looks absolutely inexcusable. This needs to be fixed now.
This
It
is
looks like-
before the Medici, my dude.
Looks like the
Florence
letter
hasn't quite
Z.
reached its apex yet.
It does look like the letter Z. I take it back.
Today's-
This is cool.
Today's Italian Republic is sponsored by the letter Z.
Oh. God. Oh, it gives confirmation as to Austria's look now. Oh.
Oh, look
That
at how
really
many
is a
dogs
whole
of
Austria.
there are.
And they haven't even split up Austria as much as it could because they could pop out Styria.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has the
They could've-
Slovenes.
They could have made Styria a thing. Or they could have.
Syria and Slavonia, yeah, could have been popped out.
It probably is objectively better, to be perfectly honest. Or if Aquelia is a subject, it probably is just better to give this to Aquelia because it's not bordering you. Which is also horrible. All of this stuff is probably useless. You probably have no control over that. Unless then again, I bet the Empire probably has a way to work around. They probably have the ability to just, like, consider enclaves like this, not actually enclaves. The Medici have been awfully quiet since the Z-shaped Florence dropped. Also, there's a league here with just no participants.
Gray means it's not in a league.
Well, why is there a marker there that, like, implies that
Why
it's a
does-
league?
Milan,
Oh.
Venice, and Florence all have a star when they're all the same color.
What the heck?
Why does
Huh.
Prague have a? I don't think the
I
stars
don't
are
know.
necessarily the most important thing to look at.
Fine. Maybe there's strategic locations that are important to... No, there's no way!
Yeah, you mean Prague?
Yeah, Prague and Cologne. Most important. Actually, oh, they're trade center. No, they're not. What the fuck is it?
Just big cities. Probably just big cities.
Epirus is a real state, as usual. But anyway,
Naples
moving on.
has Achaia as a subject.
Yeah, that's what Valar suspected. Goodness
No.
gracious me!
I made him go back to the map. Oh no.
Achaea's a subject. Oh, golly gee, down in Greece. Oh, Naples. Naples is the heir to the Latin Empire. Oh, golly gee.
Oh no.
But yes. Right. The Red Turban Rebellion. Rebellions. And then it broke again. This is rather likely to happen as soon as the Yuan Empire ends up at low stability. Ah, I'm sure that won't happen.
Look.
I'm looking.
Did a court ritual incorrectly. This obviously means the mandate of heaven has been lost, and we must rise up and overthrow the emperor.
He's right.
Oh, God. The international organization called the Red Turbans. Can I join the Red Turban Rebellion? Which will get a lot of rebel countries, yes! Yes, I must join the Red Turban Rebellion. I've seen this one, it's a classic.
Except unlike the Yellow
It's a
Turban
classic.
Rebellion.
It's a new episode.
Except unlike the Yellow Turban Rebellion, this one actually won.
Just wait, the green turbans rise up.
That's not a thing. There's no way that's a
I
thing.
don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Yet.
We'll get around to that one later.
Your time's up, Xi
I mean-
Jinping.
I was about to make a joke that that's what Anbanar would have, but then I suddenly realized that they already did that with the blue scarves. So, yeah.
Yes.
Breaking news. Kingdom of France to apply for Red Turban's membership. Hello, this just in. The King of France wants to join the glorious revolution. Oh, Aquitaine is a trade center. So, Aquitaine is a see, Aquitaine, Sevilla, Paris,
Yeah, but do you really
Cologne.
think Urbino is?
I don't no, it isn't. But I'm confused. Is all. I don't know what it means.
It's probably just bigger cities.
Rest in peace, Southern Germany. Oh God, that's the just Cologne. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. The situation can happen after 1350 if their stability drops below 25, while also either of their estates is not satisfied. Either of them. Oh. So the eunuchs are pissy, for one. As usual. The requirements are harsh, but once you reach the age of discovery, you will have avoided the situation. So it would be possible to hold it together, I guess. Possible. With that being said, the situation will most likely fire in a playthrough. During this period, the Red Turban Rebels will spawn an international organization, which is in direct opposition to the Huangdi, Chinese Emperor. While the situation is going on, events will pop up that force Yuan to release historical Chinese tags in their historical order. So the first Song is released, then Wu, then Tianwan, etc., which join the international organization and immediately declare their own independence war on Yuan. Each rebel nation is playable when it spawns, and they can wage war with each other too. So perhaps you get one of those, oh shit, Wu has risen up.
Let's play as them.
I wonder how they're doing. you know, because you get the two options. Damnable fools! Or, but what's it like? Mormon China. Yeah, please. I need Mormon's late game. If not, I need to force Goat to code so that he can make his own mod. And then I'll use it. Each rebel nation is playable. Yep. The countries spawned during this situation have a custom loyalty value, which describes how well loyal they are to the yuan, which goes from -100 to +100, and grows or shrinks depending on their opinion of yuan. Most rebel nations will start as -100, as they are actively fighting against the yuan. However, some nations spawned through the situation represent the Mongolian generals who gained a lot of autonomy, but were still fighting for yuan's cause. They would spawn with +50 loyalty, and if any rebel country reaches loyalty more than 0, they will automatically leave the international organization of the Red Turbans. In order to end the situation as yuan, you have to regain internal stability, but also ensure that the Red Turban rebels have no members left after the 20 years of the start of the situation. All states spawned through the situation with over 50 loyalty will then automatically be annexed by yuan. So, you have good old-fashioned the warlords. It really do be that way. The warlords rise up. On the other hand, oh god, I want to see this image. On the other hand, the situation also ends once any rebel tag owns the majority of China, around 70% of all the locations there. If that happens, the rebel tag which fulfills this requirement will assume the imperial throne and take over the tag of China. The situation unlocks special diplomatic actions for Yuan and the rebels alike. Yuan can grant titles to any released state that is not at war with it, giving a significant loyalty and opinion boost in exchange for a hefty fee. They can also negotiate with local rebellions, which decreases the process for rebellion to break out, and they can call loyalist countries, those with +50, to their own wars against the Red Turban rebels. Meanwhile, the rebel states have a special CB against Yuan and other rebel states, with a vastly reduced war score cost for Chinese locations. They also get access to an action that allows them to reign in a conquered area, greatly reducing the local integration speed. Local integration speed. I guess the equivalent of coring after you take something. Yeah, I am very excited, Glitched Eevee, to get my hands to be able to actually do coding. But again, it's not going to be for a long time, but there is so much juicy looking stuff that they're showing every single time that I can't wait to mess with. But yeah, there's no mana. There's no mana, Anonymous, unless you're joking. If you're joking, yes, ha ha ha. But there is no mana, so you won't need to spend 5,000 burb mana to represent the Red Turbans as the Soy Jack and yourself as the Chad, as you say.
Would that be diplomacy, or would that be administrative? Because you have to pay for all the artists to get drawings and then distribute them throughout the kingdom.
Yeah, admin power, I suppose.
It is cultural production, after a sense, and you do use the bird mana to convert culture. Maybe you have to spend a bit of both. And
unheard of.
In order to make them laugh at the poster at Sword Point.
Don't say 26. Not in April of 2026. No, don't do me like that.
Joffrey is praying for 2025, but I think I've already tempered his expectations by estimating 400 days at least.
Please, summer of 25. Please.
I think Johan has said that they aren't even planning on an announcement this year.
Yeah. So since an announcement is at earliest coming Q1 24, I don't think the game is coming until at least Q3. Probably.
Yeah,
later.
that's probably what I would guess.
Probably still later than Q3, but Q3 at the earliest.
No, he's getting the sword.
He's an absolute
No, no,
shambles.
he's
No,
just-
I'm not getting the sword. I'm out.
Getting the sword, and it's time to commit seppuku.
It's time to
Yeah,
commit
going and
seppuku.
committing Sudoku.
No, you know what I will grab? I'll grab the stick. I'll grab the stick this time. Grab the bonk stick. Bonk stick acquired. Let's
Well,
continue
have
on.
a bunch
Preserve
of
your
weapons
spirits.
laying
You
around.
can scroll down a little and you'll get a map of China.
I used to do just a lot of swinging around of fucking weapons when I grew up on the farm. This is just a stick though. This is a piece of fucking driftwood that I resined up, and it's been with me for several years now. It just looks cool. So stick acquired.
Now, they have supposedly been working on this for 4 years, at least.
Yeah, Armas, I expect you're right. All jokes aside, I expect that they won't be properly announcing it until, because they usually take half a year after they announce a game to release it and go through its proper hype train cycle, you know. So, with the fact that they are so reliant, they need this game to be good, and they're doing their absolute darnest to make sure that it's a success. They are probably not going to do any announcements until they're confident that what they're doing is going to be successful based on the feedback they're receiving here. So they're taking a lot of time. I got the hiccups, good. To present all this information and then work on it from there. So, yeah. And I imagine that's part of why they're flipping back and forth in some ways, where they talked about warfare a bit, and then they stopped. And they're going to talk about it more later. So they talked about it a little bit, and they're waiting to see what people have to say. And then based on what people have to say, they back off and do some more work, and then come back. But, I just don't... 26th in April. But, yes. Local integration speed is what I imagine to be you conquer a place and then you press a button equivalent to core this region now, but instead of using burb, it just, I don't know what it would use. Now, image. What a delightful image indeed. Green are your loyal servants, and orange are the rebels. Red is the strongest of the rebels.
Kingdom of Chen.
I like Kingdom of Chen. It is
It's
big
the Crimson
kingdom.
Chen.
The Crimson Chen! Yes! Oh!
Here comes the Crimson Chin.
What the hell is that? What is that?
Those are the Jurchen tribes by the looks of it.
Yeah. They're the Jurchens, Joffrey. Weren't you aware?
I wasn't aware that they were, like,
It
tucked into
belongs
this little
to-
corner here.
Are you saying
It
you were
belongs
Keck?
to me.
Were you Keck W unaware, Joffrey?
A little, yeah. Ming gang rise up.
Nah, Ming is the obvious one.
You
You
silly!
gotta be like Chen or Tian.
No, it has to be Mao. The red sky must rise.
The red.
Mao, red turbans. It writes itself.
Mao
Red
Dynasty
Turban
China.
rises.
This is fantastic. This is way too good. Thank you for pointing this out, Vector. Holy Mao Dynasty China.
Yeah.
Oh my
Red
God.
Turban rebels.
The Red Turban Rebels rising up. Mao Dynasty China. It's
A
interesting
red
that Ming is
China.
really small. Yeah. They're better. Yeah, if there is not an achievement for taking over China as Mao.
Don't worry,
I
you
would
can make it where the
scream.
Yuan government flees to Taiwan.
They don't have it.
They'll flee to it anyway.
They'll just go. They'll start
You'll see
colonizing
more
it.
event where Taiwan starts uncolonized, but during the Ming collapse, suddenly a Chinese kingdom spawns there.
2 years from now, when you can finally play as Oman and bring it. No, no, freaking. Body.
They mention that later, Chase.
Yes.
Don't in the comments.
Yeah, about the status of Japan and the daimyos are redacted.
Which is what
Japanese
gives me
shogunate.
which is what got me very hyped potentially.
Yeah, dark. You see, like the fact here it says Japanese shogunate, and it's oddly, the name is oddly emphasized in the southwest corner.
So the
Huh.
daimyos are a thing, so which makes me think that they're unlanded titles or unlanded tags.
Oh, here I was thinking the interesting thing is the fact that the name Japanese shogunate is so consolidated in the southwest corner that it probably means that the two courts are going to be a thing.
I think the two courts are already.
No, it doesn't seem small enough to be doing the two courts, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Because that's gonna say either Japanese Empire or Japanese Shogunate. So that's gonna go along, honestly, probably most of it.
But it does say shogunate.
Yeah.
They're moving it over. You can see
Oh, yeah.
Shog.
Yeah, so that's gonna be covering most of Japan. The north isn't completely covered, but other than that,
I guess they probably don't own too much of the north. They don't own much of the North Island, so yeah.
when did?
All right.
Well, I'm not even talking Hokkaido. I know there was a time when they didn't
Yeah,
take
because
the very top.
that name is definitely stretching far enough to reach the place where the two different courts are located, because they're basically right next door to each other, to my knowledge.
It was like Osaka and Kyoto, right?
Kyoto
Yeah.
and Yoshino, which is near Osaka.
They were basically a hop, skip, and a jump away from each other. The two
I-
courts.
I don't see any indication as to who is who's in Ryukyu.
Wait.
That's
This
your question.
means it's not gonna be like Vic 3, where everything is owned. There's uncolonized tags or uncolonized lands.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
Look at Taiwan.
I mean, we did.
Taiwan.
I did kind of just mention that Taiwan is uncolonized, and then neither of us comprehended what that meant.
It took a minute to click.
Wait a second.
I thought they might do something like Victor 3, where things were owned by decentralized nations, which I was hoping they wouldn't do because I wanted migration mechanics like in EU4.
Achievement get finish the fight as the Mao Dynasty become the Empire of Japan and colonize Taiwan.
Dark and I are really really hoping that they weren't going to do the Vicky thing where they have the decentralized nations. Because we very much when it comes to modding want to have migrating stuff happening, and it would absolutely suck if you just had to have land owned by people. But this, I think these islands might just, there's got to be people here, but I guess there just isn't a country. There's no name listed. So.
Yeah, I'd assume there's population in just about every single province.
Yeah.
Whether there's a tag that owns the province is a different matter.
Yeah, Vic 3 colonization is dreadful. It kind of makes sense for the time period, kind of, but it's also just bad.
It does not, especially when it comes to Africa, because the Europeans drew nice, clean lines. That is impossible in Vic 3.
That's true. You're right. It was more of an influence thing than a race to see who could set up towns. Like in Canada and the US, we were just running around placing markers and like it's like you weren't actually living there. It was just you had Mounties and like, running along the border, setting up sticks, being like, "This is the line." By the way, the government says this is the line. So like, it would make much more sense if you were able to declare regions as yours, and that would have an impact on it. But anyway, we're not talking about Vicky. None of us want that sort of thing in EU5, and it doesn't look like it's going to be based on this. This is Taiwan and Ryukyu is a very It's kind of like this isn't the best example, but it is hope. It's an example that might be showing us.
Need to see the Native Americans.
Yeah, we need to see what the actual North America political setup looks like, but they're not going to show us that forever, because they're probably going to be working on that right up until the very end. But that's another one of the reasons that it gives me hope for the fact that they're not going to have decentralized nations, because they're not going to want to have to sit down and have the conversation of, all right, guys, are the Blackfoot a decentralized nation or a country you can play? The Iroquois Confederacy. Is this playable? Can we play you? Can this? Okay, the Aztecs are playable, but this tribe right next to them, they're not playable. They're decent. You know what I mean? It's like you just. That's what I'm getting at. Don't give. No, I'm not coping. It's real. Trust.
So, from what I can tell, parts of Tibet either are unfinished or uncolonized.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's uncolonized parts up there.
There's a lot of land up there that looks kind of...
Also, it's just one big tag that's so big its name isn't even able to fit on this part.
Nah. The indentation on it looks different. There's no indentation on it at all. I think this, honestly, this right here settles it for me more than anything else. The fact that the rest of it, like Amdo here, look at it on the wastelands, it's all like this thicker indentation line. There's no borders here. It is just gray space. But down here, there is. You can't see the name, but there is the indentation. So down here, no, on coastal land, you don't see it. You don't see it for coast. There isn't that harsh line on the coast. But up here, I am confident now. Unless for some reason the decentralized nations, if they added them for some reason, had that thin line, it's not really represented, which I don't think it is. I think... No, okay, no, forget it. There's no way, based on the fact this is all just one blob of not owned, that has to be what it is. Same as out here, there's land that just isn't owned.
I don't think it's going to be one of those passages. Let me check
Might be the
something.
passages they mentioned. Up here, no, I'm sure you could own this. This is too complicated for that. But down here, I don't know. The fact that all this indentation here makes it look like someone owns it.
No, that is not unowned, because you can see unowned. I mean, that's not the unownable stuff that you can just walk through but can't own. Because if you look back at the old Joffrey's favorite religious map, you can see that those provinces in the Sahara have no religion, but everything in Tibet has a religion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And here, and we could also see here, there's lines here. It's like someone owns this, for example, but no one owns like the land out here. No one owns this. And I highly doubt it's a case of it just being unfinished, because they would have just stuck something there in the interim. Because that's how they do things, basically. It looks like the way it appears so far, the way they handle things, and is that, like, include stuff like religions, it's like you need a placeholder thing, you stick something in there. I'm coping, but I'm feeling pretty confident right now that this means that there are going to just be unowned lands. Maybe they've confirmed that someplace else, that they're not going to have decentralized nations, and maybe even stuff about migration, but I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I'm still a little spooked. But there's some people that Dark and I really want to, when we actually get our hands on the ability to mod, want to be able to make migrate. A lot of people, to be honest. Which confirms that pops live in uncolonized land. Well, yeah, I mean that's how that works in EU4. So I imagine that in the case of like these parts of Tibet, and then there's some land down here as well. There's actually a fair amount of land in places around here. Let me fix the stream now. Okay. There's a bunch of land around there that is not owned, it appears, but it was shown filled in on the map. So there's people that live there, but it's not it's not considered a country. There's no borders here at all. Trust. I think. I hope. But we don't know how colonization works. A lot of this is up in the air. We don't know for sure, but I'm hoping and I pray. What if it's only countries that can get involved in the Red Turban Rebellion? No, because then why would all... Okay, I mean, you could argue that like Goryu and the tribes up here could get involved, but
why would the Indians be able to? I don't think they should.
Yeah, it only really makes
None of
sense for revolt against the authority of the Yuan dynasty is their former subjects.
Even, like, you could say maybe Dai Viet, but that doesn't make sense. It's like Dai Viet joined... What, are they all putting on... Dai Viet and the Duchy of Dali? Are they all... They're going to be putting on freaking red turbans and being like...
Dali, to my understanding, is an appanage ruled by a Yuan cadet.
That does not surprise me. The fact that it's called Duchy.
Dicks and backstab their primary line, then could get involved, but that's about the only way I can think.
That's interesting, because this makes me think that what would most likely end up happening a lot is just, like, their realm will fall apart, the Yuan will fall apart, but you might have a cadet branch of the Yuan holding on in the south.
My understanding, that's exactly what happened. Dali survived, like, 30 or 40 years longer than the actual Yuan.
Then that's probably why it's there to begin with, for that difference in gameplay. They're also tribesman pop type? I think so? I don't know. There is an imperator, but they talked briefly about pops at one point. But I don't remember. Huh. I think so. People live there, but not considered a country exactly yet. Yeah. Yes. I have approved.
Joffrey's social credit score has risen.
My social credit score has gone up because I said that Taiwan is a place where people live, but it's not a country. I've got the check mark. Social credit score with the Mao Dynasty China go up. I like Li, just Li. That's the one you need to win as Li, and then just have that's like Li and Wu. It's like how there's U in Tibet someplace. You get just massive, just Li. What am I holding? Yo mom. It's a stick. I'm gonna get you. You see, I've got two coping.
And he's mad. You can tell he's mad because he's bald.
Yeah, I am malding, and when I'm malding, I'm balding. And then I grab my stick or my katana, depending on how deliberate my rage is. Or if I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, I'll just have the katana because I need to swing it when I die. Belongs to the... yes! Vector and Dark are here. Yes, I see. Pong.
They're all just figments of Joffrey's tortured mind. He's overdosed too much on hopium.
It's been happening a lot today.
The accident wasn't your fault, Joffrey. We forgive you.
I've been overdosing on copium and hopium a lot today, so... would not be surprised at this point. Well, let me zoom back out. Anything else worth mentioning? Don't think so about this at the moment. Just showing us so much map. So much map. Greener, yeah. Other situations include things like the Western Schism, the 100 Years' War, and Sengoku Jidai. I see. We'll talk more about those in future Tinto Talks. If you have a suggestion for what you think would be an important historical event that should be a situation, then please post them here. Next week, though, we will talk about something that many people have asked for repeat. That doesn't help! You're supposed to tell me so I can make the stream. I need to be able to schedule the stream and say, next time on the podcast thing, the Tinto Talk, the Modders Talk. But I can't.
You sound like you're freaking Statler and Waldorf.
Time for a quick Google search. Oh, them! Yeah, I do. The Muppets. The old men and the Muppets, yeah. Wow. Well. Alright. Well, let's show only dev responses. And we'll find, somewhere in there, we'll find the one that Evie had posted. This is a wonderful image, by the way.
Although I don't know how relevant it was to this specific Tinto talk.
I don't think it was especially relevant either. Same as the big one at the top about the 100. Oh, the 100 Years' War is relevant.
No,
yeah.
No, that was the War of the Roses.
Oh, that's not relevant either.
That was the one I thought wasn't particularly relevant to it. Because they mentioned later in one of the comments that if it's a single nation, that's just a disaster, not a situation.
Yeah.
And I don't think the War of the Roses involved anyone really except England.
Not truly.
There was a little foreign support going on, but nothing serious. Correct.
Yeah, because the case with the like Yuan, that's a situation because it makes more nations. But yeah, I don't think there's enough people involved. It's really just like England splitting apart into a couple pieces and throwing hands with other people sending them money to the sides they want to win. It's like, don't think it's relevant enough. But yeah, scroll back to the bottom. Situation for border wars between Sweden, Novgorod, and Russia. This is handled through DHE?
I don't know what that is.
Huh?
Dynamic Historic Events. It's one of your acronyms.
Alright then.
Johan really loves.
For those who don't know, today was the day. What was it? 570 something years ago that Byzantium fell.
He really loves
the siege of Constantinople finished.
Had to do it for today. Huh. Evil Johan. Byzantium fall. The Black Death being a situation, there's no other plagues. Black Death uses one of our diseases. Yeah. As he said.
I imagine
smallpox.
I imagine just like the Black Death, smallpox in the New World with the Columbian Exchange is going to be a similar thing for the Americas, killing 80 to 90% of the population.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so great. Yeah, the Black Death uses one of the diseases. Yeah. We shall see more later. Castile could join the Iberian League. It could join any of the leagues if it would have any presence in Italy. Just going back to the game rules screenshot. Do any obfuscate information? Huh. Oh. be able to obfuscate information, so we wouldn't be able to know right off the bat. Yeah, he's not sure how the ledger rules work yet, so we'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see. Serbian Empire, the disaster. Yep. Disaster is for stuff that's just about a single country, as you were saying.
Yeah. Special disaster for Serbia early game. The
Yay! Yay! Destroying the Serbian Empire. It fall apart. Poor guys. They were big and then they were not, but never actually were that big. They were just like a thing.
Middle-sized Balkan state. Claims title of empire that will last 1,000,000 years. Bulgaria, Serbia, even Byzantium at the end.
The triangle trade is not a situation. Wow. A shock indeed. The wars of religion will likely fuse a situation / league. That makes sense. Is there a way to completely prevent the Black Death? Turn it off. All situations adjustable. No. I guess. Someone mentioned secession wars. Are you which one did you say is yours? I don't remember what you said. Are you Zeroma or you?
Yeah.
Zeroma?
He is Zeroma.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. So yeah, you asked about if situations are adjustable, or yeah. He did respond with a fantastic lowercase no. But yes, are all situations adjustable in the settings, or just some, and are the ones that are adjustable all able to be turned
I
off?
love Johan's completely indeterminate
It's just
no, where we can't tell what he's responding to.
yeah. All situations adjustable in the settings. So that means not all situations are adjustable in the settings, and not all the ones that are adjustable are able to be turned off. Which doesn't surprise me, so I guess there is not a setting somewhere for the Yuan's disaster, and you can't like turn it on or off. I'd be interested to see a rule for that. Now that this is causing me to actually think about it a bit more than I was originally gonna. It's like, yeah. I think that yeah, because the Black Death is a situation, as you're saying. Yeah, the Black Death is a situation and it's got settings. So, for example, smallpox, can you just turn it off? Can you have a what if situation of smallpox don't happen? Native Americans are just immunized to it already. You show up, Inca is still big. The Aztecs don't just fall over. Like, imagine that in an MP game. God damn, Spain's rocking up with their like 0 people. Got like 15 guys in a dream versus the Aztecs. I love me what if scenarios like that. What if they just didn't lose all their people, and they still had time to and they had some time to sit there with their large population and establish realms and adopt some tech. So yes, and in a similar vein, what if you can just say, oh, the Yuan disaster is going to happen immediately? Or what if it just never happens? To be fair, you would have used the default option. Well, yes, most of us would use the default options most of the time, but you like the option, because, again, what if you're playing in a multiplayer game and you just want to change it up? Or what if you want to run an observer game? Oh, what happens if the Black Death happens at a completely random time. When does it happen? What if smallpox doesn't happen, as I was saying? Yeah. Yes. Moving along. Succession Wars, for example. Yes, Succession Wars are mechanics. The the Anatolian Thunderdome. That would be fun. His response being just sticking out a tongue. Could it be? I could see it. But anything like that's just more likely to give the Ottomans buffs, and I don't want that. No! I don't want that! No.
Are you a Bizaboo, Joffrey?
No. I want them all to fall. I want Epirus to win.
Oh, I wanted Serbia to win. They're glorious.
I actually want Genoa to win, to be perfectly honest.
I want Cyprus to win and to reestablish the Kingdom of Jerusalem.
I want to see the Latin Empire return.
What about
No,
Aretna?
You go into the think what you've done box. You're not allowed out.
The Latin Empire is honestly the true successor to Rome.
I mean, yeah, Naples. The person married to the ruler of Naples right now is the titular Latin empress. So the rulers of Naples are gonna be the de jure empire of the Latin emperors of the Latin Empire. So yeah. Restore it. Just kill everyone. Weird nonsense option like Sunset Invasion. Smallpox off. High American tech on. Sunset Invasion is a go. Renaissance spawns in Cuzco.
I agree. It should spawn in Cusco.
Yes, shake hands, yes.
Why is Pachacuti speaking Latin suddenly?
It came to him in a dream. Pachacuti shook the earth so much, it created another disaster for Europe. What about non-historical situations? That's mechanics. He said that's mechanics a few times already. Obviously, we'll have to wait until we play the game, but this sounds really cool. Different possibilities with a system like this. Imagine the flee. Yes. Everything's moddable, of course. Everything they do these days is just absurdly moddable. Out the wazoo. The kazoo.
As it all should be.
Yes. Yes. Plenty. There will be some in every age, yes. He's not mentioned many for the late game, so we'll have to see how that works out. Stuff that's later on. Will plagues be able to strike again? We've got multiple types of diseases. No! Multiple types of diseases. They'll strike again. Ooh, that's interesting. So it'll just be diseases in general that can show up, but the Black Death is the big one. And maybe it can come back, because it did. It did come back a couple times until it thoroughly, absolutely, unquestionably just made everyone in Europe immune to it, because the only people that survived were immune. Great for allowing complicated diplomatic dances, for sure. Dedicated plague system. Immersion and narrative. Far more impactful than normal disease. The Columbian Exchange is another, which is far more impactful. So they've got a generic disease system. Okay, this is good. This is good. They're going to have a generic disease system, so you can just have the diseases spread around and people will get sick and die and it'll be sad. But then you also have the big ones, so Columbian Exchange and the Black Death, which show up on the map as situations and people are involved in them, and if it's affecting you, you get some mechanics related to it. This is good. I like. Johann's
Yeah, he even
overworked
says it's a
real
disaster.
The War of the Rose is a disaster. Yes. Yes.
Of course it was a disaster.
Well.
A ton of people died for a stupid chair.
It's a stupid
no
chair.
one would ever die for a chair. Just don't read Game of Thrones.
Or a
That chair is
bucket.
even stupider because it only exists in an old man's mind.
People would never fight and die for a throne. That's why the Byzantine Empire was so incredibly stable.
There are no daimyo on the map. Daimyos are a redacted, and something we'll talk about later this year.
I am praying that it's an off-map tag.
It's a surprise tool that will help us later.
Please, I beg.
Praying.
Can you comprehend how much modding potential something like that could have?
Not really, because we don't know enough.
Exactly. It is power beyond our comprehension.
Do not trick yourselves into hoping for something that cannot be.
I know. But what if?
No, stop.
What if?
No, stop.
Off-map countries, Vector.
Off map. Okay. What if it's instead they're just sort of like part of a mechanic where you place a local governor to help control? That's like the potential doomer mentality.
Dark, that can't be it. That would be too simple, and this wouldn't be daimyos are redacted. We would just say daimyos are a vassal type.
Well, obviously the one sentence description I gave it wouldn't do it justice. Imagine if that's all it was. Daimyos are governors you can place on the map in certain locations to decrease control.
My doomer answer to it is that daimyos pop up. You play as Japan, and then daimyos pop up because Sengoku Jidai.
Possible. That is also, honestly, that's maybe the most likely outcome.
Because with this, but I don't know why it's really weird.
Redacted, why would he say, or if they were just like emergent tags, why would they be redacted?
That's why it's confusing too, because that it sounds to me, it's like the obvious answer. It's like the Red Turban Rebellion. It's just you're playing as Japan, the shogunate, and then authority is collapsing. All of these guys are showing up, and they're fighting each other, and me. Oh God, it's exactly the same. But it's not that. They're a redacted, and something that will be talked about later this year. Later this year! That means that they're gonna be done talking about the game this year because there's a January 25 release date!
No, it means that these will be in a Tinto talk before the end of this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna be the last Tinto talk. Probably.
I hope not. It'd be a weird final Tinto talk.
Daimyos.
Talking about daimyos.
Yeah, the most important thing that's happening in 1337.
Very odd way to cap off the Tinto talks.
You see, Joffrey, this is actually going to be in December because the Tinto talks are going to continue throughout the entirety of 2025, and it's not coming out until 26.
I will not stop doing these. Doesn't matter who's doing them with me. I will still be doing these all the way until they stop. I will keep talking about this game. Raptor mode engaged. Alright, that's enough copium and hopium. I'm glad that this whole process stays very interesting because there's always something new. As soon as one thing that we're hoping for gets confirmed or removed as a possibility, something new comes up that's exciting. Like, oh, what if this was the thing? There's always something else to be hoping for. 13 finished situations, and there's ideas and plans for many more. Oh, goodness. This is thrilling.
Yeah, I'm incredibly curious to see what they all end up being.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that, Evie. I appreciate everyone who watches the streams live, but I also appreciate those who watch the VODs just as much. It's just knowing that people are here and they enjoy hearing myself and my friends nerd out about a subject we're passionate about, which is history and paradox modding, is just a wonderful thing. So.
Oh, but he'll be even happier if you do both.
Oh my god. You gotta watch it on all of your YouTube accounts. That's right.
The only thing that would make him happier is if you smash that subscribe button, hit that fucking bell, hit that like button.
That's what the stick's for. The stick is for smashing the like button. Oh, God. Does the Reformation also involve a situation? Yes. That makes sense. Good. As something earlier was said that made it sound as though we were going to, yeah, because the leagues. Someone mentioned that he mentioned that the religious leagues are also leagues of a sense, like the Italian war leagues. So that's interesting. Yeah. Which maybe there's more. Maybe it's more dynamic. Ooh, I don't know. We'll see. That's a situation I'm excited to see. Revolutions are situations? The French Revolution? A situation? What?
Yes.
Well, when you consider the international response that the revolution incurred, I can see it.
Suppose? Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I'm not picky. Exactly. As long as you give me your complete, undivided attention, you dedicate all of your love and affection and appreciation towards me, and your happiness revolves around me, and you smash the like button, comment, and subscribe on every video, and hit the bell, and recommend me to your friends.
Subscribe to his Patreon. Coming soon.
Coming soon, TM. Oh, God. One day. One day we'll do that. One day. Will it include other series? I'm just as bad at spelling, so I can't judge. That aren't. So, wait, you feel like the French Revolution is so late game? The French Revolution is something that would happen really late game, so it could be very difficult to prep for, but never know. It's hard to say how they're going to handle it. It is probably specifically for the French. But no, Anonymous, you can't. The Realms in Exile can't have a Patreon because it is for a very much established IP, and a very much established IP that is very famous for lawsuits. Ever wonder why in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, halflings are called halflings instead of hobbits, even though they're literally just hobbits? This is why. Fun fact, the Tolkien estate tried to copyright the term dragon. It didn't work, but they tried. Tried. Yeah. Hope the next Tinto map after the Friday one isn't in Europe. I'm sorry to tell you, they confirmed that they're going to be going through every single they're going through all of Europe in a just disorganized order. So we're going to see all of Europe before we move on, which, as Dark is about to say in a second, I'm sure, he really wants to see China more, which we kind of have now, but
Yeah.
kind
I no
of.
longer want to see China. We've seen China now.
Kind of. But I want to see it still too, because I want to see this is like the struggle situation.
I want to see North and South America.
Okay, me too. Me too, but we're not going to see that forever. That's going to be the last
In
thing we see.
conclusion, I wish to see everything.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, they should just give us access to the game already.
They're going to show us motherfucking Congo before they show us the Haudenosaunee Confederacy.
Well, what about the Inca?
Okay. That is copium I can get behind. I would not be surprised if they showed us something like that after they finish Europe and then show us like North Africa and India. Nah, they're totally going to show us all the old world first. But I really want to see. I really would love to see what the Inca look like. But they don't even have the religious setup yet. They've only got the one religion. All they've got is Inti and Cuzco. That's going to take some time. But hey, that's why they're talking about this now, so they can work through everything else first. Woo! Will include other series of wars, like Galicia-Volhynian Wars, or the Northern Wars of the Baltic. No. No. They're not things they can predict so easily. Stuff like the French Revolution, I met, like, you could set up to happen under specific circumstances pretty easily, but, like, large-scale wars, like... The 100 Years' War, they said, is a situation. That makes sense. It's going to be happening immediately. Watch there be an announcement for... As Mao! Watch there be an announcement for As Mao unite China and get the Mandate of Heaven. Not started thinking about achievements. This needs to be one of them. Day one. We need this day one achievement. As Mao, unite China and get the Mandate of Heaven. Seems like they focused on North America more than the Inca in that screenshot. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The religions of North America were a lot more thrown out. However, yeah, because they even showed there's a tiny one. Because again, as I rambled on in that stream, as a Canadian, anything where that actually acknowledges the Inuit as existing, it makes me get all flustered. Oh gosh. But yeah. I want my playable Inuit country. But the fact that there's only like 3 counties, it looks like, that actually have them. Based on the religious map mode, I'm not getting my hopes up, which makes me sad. You hear this? Any of you devs watching this? If any Paradox Tinto people see this, got my stick. I need an Inuit country I can play so I can stack up Inukshuks. If I can't do that, I'll be mad.
What do you mean? You can already get the Inukshuk in EU4.
No! I hate that so much. I hate
one
Inukshuk. The wonder Inukshuk. Freaking grab it and stick it in London. What the fuck is? Yeah, I can mod it, but I don't want to be modding that. I just want to. I don't want to mod vanilla. I want to make my own mod. I don't want to just like be like, here's the Inuit tag. Also, I do it bad, because I like the Inuit, but I'm not, like, I don't know it, like, I wouldn't be able to make the name list or anything. English do not compute. That's other mechanics. Threatened succession. Would colonial independence be a situation? They're considering that. Huh? Colonial independence movements being a situation.
The Spanish did have all their colonies sort of rebel one after the other.
Well,
yeah.
Like the American Revolution, the French and the Spanish, and even the Germans got involved.
Because the 13 colonies, for example, was a bunch. It was essentially a bunch of the United States.
Wait,
a
what if,
bunch of states.
Organization.
what
It
if
was a lot of
each the
nations
13
working
colonies
together.
is its own country?
Yeah, and then they all join an international organization, which can then confederate into a single tag.
I would like to see mechanics like that. Like, I genuinely hope that colonies don't have to be as big as they were in EU4. Because, like, the 13 colonies were a thing, and I'd like to see that be possible. I'd like to see it be more of a thing where you can set up smaller colonial nations. Prediction: future wars will be fought over copyrights and NFTs. Dude, NFTs died like 3/4 of a year ago. They're not even a meme that are in people's consciousness anymore, my guy.
Clearly not, because they're in his consciousness.
Well, they weren't on my mind, and that's the only thing that matters. So, that and the stick. Stick. I'm on that stick grind set, you know. With Reformation, Discovery of the New World, Reformation is its... The discovery of the New World was done by Leif Erikson about 337 years before the start of the game in Project Caesar. Yes. Yes. Typical Scandinavian. I mean, I've got no horse in the race. I've got no horse in the race for claiming who discovered the New World as someone who is like 30% German and 70% Ukrainian, like, or just Rus. I'm all the Rus. Doesn't bloody matter. Stick grind set. Yep.
Right click, save image.
Right click, save image. NFTs in shambles. I was making jokes. I remember when we were first talking about economy stuff, I was making jokes with someone in chat about the maybe it was Armas? I don't remember. But it was someone I was making jokes about about the tulip, buying the tulip NFTs essentially in the Low Countries. Right? You need to start producing tulip NFTs that you can sell in the Low Countries until the market crashes. Speaking of crashing, the situation for the collapse of the Delhi Sultanate, yes. Delightful. So maybe a lot of those countries that we've seen on the political map of India, from what we've been able to make out, will actually be countries that are a part of it, quote unquote, but are falling apart. Or maybe it's going to create even more, and yeah, which is really cool. I like this. I like this a lot. Generic War of Succession. Succession wars are just, yeah, came with the mechanics. Yeah, important things later on we'll have. Situations, they're making a lot of them. Spanish unification, they've considered making the Spanish unification one, but it might be better to portray Spanish unification with other mechanics. Yeah, I don't think a situation necessarily fits it. I don't know how a situation would benefit that.
Yeah, it feels a little too narrow in scope to fit a situation.
It's like for the Realms in Exile mod, for example, it's like whenever people are saying, like, add a struggle, everyone was like, oh, struggle for this, struggle for Harondor. It's like, but how does that help it? Why would we have this? Struggle for Moria, on the other hand. Big brain that no one saw coming.
A struggle needs to add something unique and a narrative, which I think is a similar thing to these situations. It needs to convey something narratively that can't be conveyed through a normal mechanic.
And the unification of like Spain, that was literally just the Iberian wedding. Like, that's all that happened. Realistically, I mean, they were fighting like civil wars and stuff, but like at the end of the day, when it comes down to is what a guy married a girl and their descendants ruled what became Spain, and it just stayed that way and didn't stop staying that way.
Will they have ahistoric situations?
Yeah, that's right, Armas. You're the one who commented about did I really just see sand? Sand is a resource, yes.
Well, Aiden, the reconquistas are basically over.
Yeah. It's literally, it's just goddamn, it is just these motherfuckers right here.
Now,
That's
what
all
I
that's left.
do see coming, I think the ahistorical situations are gonna be DLC.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll add more with DLC, yeah. Morocco still
Morocco's not
exists.
in. Yeah, I
What?
mean, there's Grenada and a chunk of Gibraltar's owned by Morocco, but
That,
that's not enough. They sit there for like another over 130 years before any border changes.
But the point is, you do not need a situation for this. If we were talking back in time, like Cordoba, that's a situation right there. Cordoba splinters. What are the loyal vassals? Which ones aren't loyal? The Christians involved. You get like Portugal pops up, things like that. That's a whole that makes sense. Yeah. But this is over. Like you can have there's probably going to be some mechanics for Granada to like probably grab the coast from Morocco. Like I at some point I guess they do historically.
The
But
Moroccan purchase.
Gib please. Morocco would. I don't understand how. Surely Morocco could just kill Granada. And again, they've got
No.
so many people in Cordoba.
Oh, they've outright said that
Not
there's
Cordoba.
not going to be any sort
Oh,
of overland
in
connection
Granada, yeah.
between Iberia and North Africa. So it's quite possible that Granada has a sufficient fleet to blockade Moroccan territory if they decide to fight them.
Early game with levies, raising your levies, I imagine that would be a problem, yeah, because you'd have to raise your levies over here, and then Granada just walks in and conquers it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do?
Yeah, because Granada can steal the territories you hold in Iberia because you can't get your troops over.
And Granada's going to be... They've got a huge population in Granada itself. It's an excellent city. It's so centralized. And Morocco is ass. This is all awful. I mean, not all of it, but you know what I mean. Like this is huge, but like they're probably gonna have zero control.
It's a lot of land, but it's not well settled or well controlled. It's a pretty decentralized kingdom.
I'm honestly shocked. Actually, no, I'm not shocked. The fact that Morocco is represented like this, I bet they're gonna split it up into vassals, like they did in EU4. Sooner or later.
South. Yeah. In the
I mean,
EU4, southern Morocco has been split off into vassals.
If they don't, I certainly hope the AI does that itself for its own sake, because this would be... You're not going to control that. Stuff south of the mountains, it's going to have none control. If I was playing as Morocco, I would make, like, I'd make the northeast here a vassal. I'd make, what is that, like, Tafilalt? I'd make Tafilalt a vassal, and then I'd make... Or maybe that's what this is. I don't know, but the point is, I'd make two vassals. Like keep the stuff that's crossed the mountains as vassals, and then have this nice coastal land here that's under my control. Try to centralize my populations here. That's what I'd be going for. But yeah. Anyway, Joffrey. Yeah. Umayyad. Right. Back out again. I like that Tripoli exists. I don't... Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold up.
Oh yeah, that is Sunni. That means
It's
that's
it's represented the same way.
That's uncolonized.
It's this here, yeah. It's Sunni on the map.
They mentioned that there was going to be land that could not be controlled but could be passed through. I wonder if this is going to be an example of something.
I don't think so, because if
Not
you look
this.
at the religious map that shows like the whole world's religions, you can see paths in the Sahara that have no religion. This spot though has religion, but it has nobody owning it on the political map.
Do 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 do. We really be doing this right now.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what we do. So all right. Place on the map. Actually, it's a body. It's based. It's based and a body.
Well, no, it's actually Sunni.
No, right there. That's a body.
Yeah, but like east of it, the other part that's uncolonized is Sunni. So south of that little lake, I'm pretty sure.
It's half of it's a body and half of it's Sunni. Looks like it splits that. So it's this. But the point is, anyway, what religion it is, yeah, not as important as the fact that, yeah, you can look at this and you can see the places where it's populated. So these are places that you could own, but like the places in between, I imagine, yeah, that's where you can't own it. But you could properly, as a North African country, probably colonize down and like actually control all this land technically, even along the coast too. You could, oh my gosh, that's cool. I want to do that. I want to do that as Morocco for sure. But yeah, this gives me big hope. Big hopium. Is that, yeah, yet again, this is land, it's unowned. It's unowned. It's got a religion though. So yeah. Anyway. I just needed to pause and look at that. Continuing along. It's just more like there's no decentralized nations. I'm coping. Do I need to just make a post and just be like, hello, please, are there decentralized nations?
Immigration mechanics easy. We'll totally get an answer.
I want to become Snake Morocco. Yeah. Snake Morocco down the coast and then through the Sahara? Yes. Snake Morocco is big ups. Wait. Animist majority religion here? Going back for some deep rediscovery of lore. Doesn't Spain own that? Surely Spain owns this.
Not yet.
No? Well, I'm taking it as Morocco. Fuck this. First game is Morocco. Boys, here we go.
I thought your first game was Andorra.
No, I was never serious about that.
No, second game Morocco, first game Andorra.
First game Andorra, get killed. Second game Tlemcen into a body. Third game Bogomolist Bosnia. 1337, not 1444. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know when Spain got the Canaries. I got no clue. I suppose.
1444.
But can I own it?
The blockchain doesn't lie, Joffrey.
But can I play as them? No, they're probably unowned. There's no. Yeah, they're just gonna be unowned, uncolonized land. Anyway.
Probably.
Do all states gain instant knowledge of the Black Plague and are able to access against it? No. Thank you for not letting us be like, the Black Death exists in the steppe. I am going to instantly start closing down the country.
I am in England, and I have it set to the historic path, but I shall close my country 3 years in advance.
Mm-hmm. Because I know, at this point in time, yeah. Yeah, I like the idea that it's not going to let you do something until it's already in your country. Or maybe you get involved if it's next to you or something. You know, things like that. You know, there's ways you can make it actually make sense and still give you time to react to it. Chili-shaped Morocco, indeed. Or maybe Mali. Maybe you could play Mali and just go creep up the coast. I don't know.
What if our coastal borders touched? Just kidding. Unless.
What if our coastal borders touched in the bathroom? Like behind the bleachers. Aw.
That's weird, Joffrey.
Huh? No.
That's kind of weird.
What's wrong with our
Or-
coastal
or-
borders touching? Behind the lockers.
Behind the lockers are usually attached to the wall.
That's what they want you to think. You have much to learn. The Canaries had a population of natives, while the Azores and Madeira did not. Well, my friend, what is this? What is this? There is a religion on Madeira. That means it's not empty, and you lose, because what they have shown in this map is the final product. And will never be changed.
They're not changing it. It's true.
Yeah, so you lose. Bosnia's Christiani. But yeah, but there's also there is like actual Bogomilists in there. That's what the pink is. Pink is Bogomilists. So you could theoretically swap. But I mean, you're already Christiani, so just stay Christiani and win. Be good. They're better. I also really hope there's Cathars, but I'm talking about stuff I already did, and this is going to go on. Like, it's already almost 2 hours. Holy shit.
Let's keep the grind going.
Yeah, the Guelphs and Ghibellines are thing. Situations are a historical narrative using mechanics. They're not necessarily dynamic, but they were like they can happen on their own. All of them are planned for that will happen, which is fine. Oh my god. Oh my god, degeneracy in the chat right now. No, I'm sorry, Dark. I did this. This is my fault. Evidence of... Oh my god, I want Viking Madeira. Yeah. Yeah, situations. Starting to get lots of repeat questions here. Goodness. To be achieved by other nations. The idea for any Iberian Christian nations to unify Spain. Granada would form Al-Andalus, of course. Yep. Whatever. To technically the end of the 15th century. Yeah, it's still a ways after start, though. And it's not possible for the Italian wars to trigger, say, an Italian too strong. Yeah, whatever.
I'm now imagining a unified kingdom of Italy fighting against France, and then it auto-resolves the entire situation because they already control over 70%.
Yeah, that is the thing. He's not giving a particularly detailed response to it, but it does. It sounds like something that could happen. I mean, if you're playing.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly unlikely, simply because I imagine one of those three parties will end up declaring war on an Italian minor far sooner than you could hope to unify.
But depends on how long the age of feudalism or whatever the hell it's called at game start lasts. If the first age lasts for the rest of the 1300s, you'd have at least 60 years to do it. I bet the Pope or Milan would be the one. Milan would be the one to do it. Naples is going to be pretty damn strong too, though. But I'd want to do it as the Pope because the Pope is based. Paradox players when the game doesn't have every obscure heresy and sect. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where is every little heresy? See, yeah, Dark and I were just, as soon as we learned that Nestorians actually are going to be in the game, it's just, oh my gosh, I need to play, figure out which of these Chinese factions now. We need to know which of those Chinese factions in the Red Turban Rebellion has the most Nestorians in it, and grab them all and convert. Nestorian China, more likely than you think. Italian Wars, eventually end. Yeah, obviously, whatever. Boundaries between disaster and situation. Disasters primarily involving one country. Some are dynamic and can happen repeatedly, like a succession crisis. Yeah. It still feels a little weird because, again, like this person is saying, the collapse of the Yuan is like specifically that's one country too. It's one country splintering, but
becoming many country.
yeah, and it does, yeah, because I guess like the not the 100 Years War, the War of the Roses, the result was just civil war. Then it gets put back together. China, the Red Turban Rebellion, breaks into a bunch of pieces and then has to try and pull itself together back after the situation has resolved itself. So, yeah. Can't you play as Legoland? Finnish paganism is in it. What do you mean?
Moose religion?
Oh, wait. I mean, well, there's an animist there's just like there's a placeholder for some other religion near Finland. So I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna end up being. Like this religion's gonna end up being once they actually fill in what it is. But we've already got the Sami faith, so we've got a Sami faith, which is cool. Which is cool. Yeah, I like. We get the Alanic faith. There's some Alans there. It's cool. Just please don't, whatever you do, don't release the game without filling them in. Don't let them just be animists. No one will ever play them, and we'll be sad.
No, don't worry. They'll be DLC locked.
No. No respect to the devs, but I think it's a safer choice to focus on situations from actual history that people are familiar with than coming up with a large amount of fantasy situations that are valid in certain circumstances. Where did he get the idea that they were going to make up fantasy shit?
No. The way that I believe that was being discussed in context was there was discussion about essentially, these situation things look really neat. Why don't we have them scripted to trigger dynamically for any country under these situations? So anytime there's a rich area that's got, major external powers meddling, why can't we trigger something like the Italian leagues then? And what this person is saying is essentially he would prefer them to focus on grounded, actual historical situations first and foremost, instead of trying to make these sort of universally applicable alt history fantasy settings. And that's kind of what Johan is responding to, I believe.
That makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, we
okay.
can simulate everything. We could have a situation for every little thing that happens dynamically.
But when everything is generic to be able to be applicable to any situation, what differentiates one from another? I mean, even speaking of, I actually feel like this is one of Realm's particular strengths, actually, is the fact that we have different decisions, different goals for various factions. So every single playthrough is not one and the same.
Yeah.
And but because of that, some factions have more content than the other. But it actually gives narrative, it gives reason to play different things. Whereas if you make something that is universally applicable, you're going to be interacting with it every single game, every single playthrough, and you're going to get bored of those really dang fast, in my personal experience.
Yes, I agree. You're right. As cool as the concept is, it's the same with struggles. As soon as you can have this new interesting mechanic and think, I want to see it everywhere. Jocko keeps launching bloody CK3. You can have these new mechanics and you want to see them just be used. Like, please, just everywhere. Let the highest chance of them just showing up anywhere happen. Whoa, just more of this thing. But then it stops being unique and it stops making stuff, different and interesting. Where it's just window dressing at that point, and that would take so much effort and would be jank as well. Yeah. Players want to see an Ottoman Empire and strong Russia and want to experience the Reformation wars of religion. Players want their choices to change history. I mean, I don't always want. I actively really hate the way that Lucky Nations works. So I really don't like. I really hope they've come up with interesting ways to make an Ottoman Empire and a strong Russia common, but I don't want them to be always. I don't want it to be like, oh, it's guaranteed. Oh, see you, Aiden? But yeah, I really don't want it to be like always this or always that. I would love to see some new power rise out of the Anatolian Thunderdome. I would love to see Room rise again. The Arachnids make room. Kai's out of room.
Sultanate of Rum.
Do.
The second most legitimate Roman state. After only the Latin Empire.
Yes, agreed. Yes. Doing these games for 25 plus years now, and many times have been suckered in by, we can simulate everything. We don't need narrative guidelines. Only for the game launches to be rocky and having to readjust and make sure historical narratives are happening often enough. Okay, often enough. That's good. Often enough. They need to be always. Normal Civil War, 1341 to 47. Hussite Wars. The Hussite Wars is a situation. Ooh. There's a lot of little a lot of little Silesian shitters that might join Jan Hus. What's up with my nose? Why is my nose so itchy? Game rules for how the AI handles historical objects. Yes! Yes! I can just... They totally stole this from us, right, Vector? They stole our historical...
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Time to sue.
Yep. They stole the idea from us to have a rule set for AI historical stuff. You're back and also vegan? Whoa! That's crazy! Hi, back! I'm Dad! Also, hello, vegan, by the way! Hello, both of you! See, I'm very clever. I can also make well-adjusted jokes. Sardinia... Why the Kingdom of Sardinia? Give Sicily's... Aragonese content designers view that as the most correct setup. I mean, it's not like they own all of Sardinia. I mean, if all of Sardinia was united under Aragon, I'd feel like that would make more sense. But to have it represented as its own subject tag. But as Aragon, I don't know, because the thing is, I don't know how difficult it is to set up vassals, and I don't know how much their diplomatic cost is yet. But like, if it doesn't have a high cost, if it's not too difficult to set them up, I would 100% be making Sardinia, what of Sardinia I have, into a vassal. What's the top of my wish list for Project Caesar? I want people to be able to migrate. Please let my countries migrate. I need my one province migratory tribes, and that's one of them. And then the other big hopium thing that Dark and I are wanting is somehow having countries that don't have land. We want it playable. Yep. Playable unlanded countries. And there's just this slight, ever so slight hope in our hearts that might be what A, the Hansa is, and B, daimyos. But it is just the slightest of hope. But hope for the big things, so that, and then when that doesn't come true, it's sad. But then you get excited when stuff like, oh wow, you can actually play as a migratory tribe in the Americas. Oh my god. And we can use this in coding for our own mods. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow.
Situations dynamically. No. Do change the rules. Yeah. Dynamic historical event. It's an acronym and term started using during the EU4 development. Another Tinto talk on diseases later on. Alright, so they will explain in more depth later on. Of course, they'll explain more in depth later on what exactly the diseases do. Ooh! Okay, big hope. New big copium. You know what I'm gonna say, Dark? You know what I'm gonna say?
No.
What if they have their diseases Tinto talk and they show us the Americas?
I mean, it's probably gonna be Black Death stuff.
They gotta show us the Americas too. They need to show us smallpox. They'll be like,
No,
this
they're
is
gonna be
another
like,
disease.
"Look at this measles outbreak in Venice."
No. They're gonna show us the Black Death. They're gonna show us another picture that's like measles outbreak in Venice, and then they're gonna show us, this is see like North America, and South America and Central America. Look, here's a map. Look, whoa, tribes. Goated. The estates are your hopium. I mean, we know. We know very little about how they work, but we know they're going to exist to some degree. We know that they're who you're taking your loans from, for example, so they're going to be very important. Do you think that this game will be very bare bones, unreleased like EU4? Based on what they've talked about, it really doesn't sound like it. It sounds like there's going to be plenty of stuff to play with here on release. Mind you, yeah, CK3 released in a very playable, relatively speaking, not in multiplayer, but it was a very, like, yeah, you could sit down with vanilla CK3 and just play for a while. There was plenty of interesting stuff to do. But, I really don't think it's gonna, I think it's gonna have a vastly better launch than EU4 did. Where I think it's going to be very much playable. I think it's actively going to be a thing. On release, you are just going to want to play EU5 instead of 4. I really think so. Mind you, that's how I was with CK3 over CK2. I could not even touch CK2 after I was watching the dev diaries. When I was reading the dev diaries for CK3, I could not bring myself to play CK2 anymore. For example,
I didn't play CK3 for like until the first year. I didn't start playing CK3 until I think actually Friends and Foes. I was still playing CK2 that whole time.
You crazy bastard.
Yes.
Number 1 wish is extremely rare, but the possible ahistorical events that happen. Rare, super rare ahistorical events. Well, I mean, what they're talking about, they're not going to be making like situations that are ahistorical like that. But I mean, what? Like the Hussites win? That's something that could happen. I don't know exactly what you'd mean. But like something completely bullshit out of nowhere, I don't think they would make that. Oh, you mean just events? Yeah. But that's quite feasible then. You're concerned about situations creating too much railroading? No, I don't. I actively don't. No. Hearts of Iron 4 is not my game. That is not my kind of game. Same as Stellaris.
He's gonna have to play it soon, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to play Vicky and Hearts of Iron in the Mega Campaign, but I don't like him. Vicky just because it's a bad game. Hearts of Iron because it ain't my game. That's it. But yeah, concerned about situations creating too much railroading? I don't think so. You're gonna be... I bet it's gonna be very doable to avoid the Yuan collapse if you want to play as them. And you could just... There's gonna be historical options. If you don't want to have the situations create too about like railroading, as you're saying. The historical randomness. Yeah.
Alright, let's keep scrolling. Finish this
Alright,
page.
alright. I'm sorry, Dark. This is what happens
Yeah.
when you get more people watching the stuff. You gotta respond to their comments. Otherwise, you're gonna make fun of me for not responding to comments.
I'm gonna bully you.
You will. I can't. I can do no right.
I should have
Oh.
bullied you for not making an announcement.
Yeah, you should have. We're almost done though. That's part of why I'm chatting so much. Situations predetermined. Black Death. Oh, that is the end. So the Black Death situation using the generic disease mechanics. Yeah, it's just going to be an enhanced. Yeah, with more mechanics.
Enhance.
Version of diseased.
Enhance.
Zoom in. Enhance
Zoom.
that picture, just like every crime drama.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
And
just
Jason Bourne.
and make the picture higher quality.
What's wrong with this picture of Yuan? What do you mean? You wanna zoom and enhance?
Zoom in, enhance.
I mean, this one's pretty readable. It's the other ones that are not so great. Like this one.
Enhance.
Is it? I
Just
think
like
yeah, I meant max zoom.
It's like that, like
Joffrey,
cheeky
you
little.
must enhance again. This is
That-
not enhanced enough.
I
that
can't.
cheeky little static line
I mean-
crosses the screen, and suddenly it's like 4K.
If I yeah.
The
Vroom,
1990s
vroom.
security camera somehow captures it in 4K.
I
And after it enhances, it goes to 8K, 12K.
I could zoom more if I opened this in GIMP, but I would not be able to enhance it. There's nothing I can do to make it Frisian Freedom more legible, and this is sad.
I can see the Nation of Die still, though.
Yes.
Any cool new threads?
Anything.
Show only dead responses.
It's about two. Black Death options in game balance and speculating on other situations. Maybe that. Load, damn you, load! Random origin. Black Death options in game balance. Random origin does not go as far as America. I would bloody hope not! Just
Damn,
Europe,
is it
North
Enhanced
Africa, and
Martin
Asia.
nudged her lawn?
Aww, we can't have sub-Saharan Africa die from the Black Death. Aww. So sad. It can't reach Mogadishu and then go south to freaking Zanzibar coast? God damn. I mean, maybe it can, but like, St. Dave is just like giving vague, like, set number, AI, like vague vagaries here. I'm stuttering. Following. Johan is listening. He is listening with interest. Black Death, Italian Wars, 100 Years of War, Sengoku Jidai. Wait, the Western Schism isn't the Protestant Reformation? Oh, that's right!
That's the Pope in Avignon.
That's the Avignon Pope. Yes. The discovery of the New World situation? No. No, you goof. What does that do?
You discover the Northwest Passage.
Hussite Wars, collapse of the Delhi Sultanate, Great Peasants' War, colonial independence, yeah. Alright, well. something people have asked for repeatedly. Yeah. Please tease us with low-hanging... Please tease this low-hanging fruit.
Mission trees.
Mission trees, peace deals, release
Release
day. Won't be something non-European. Yeah. Colonization. Slavery. Could be trolling. No, don't say that's all he said. That's not all he said. That is all he said, isn't it? Okay, I'm not going to talk about mission trees this early. It is outrageous and it's unfair. He's being mean. Yeah, you're a sophisticated intellectual. All right, Anonymous. Yeah, you say, set in motion a chain of events leading to Halo Combat Evolved. Yes, but what does it do in relation to meaningful gameplay that it should change specifically to involve nations? And what nations are involved? Who's involved in this situation, the discovery of the New World? Is it all the Native Americans? Are all the Native Americans involved? Is it all the Europeans who have colonial ideas picked? Well, I highly doubt that national ideas are a thing in this. So, how would that work? Do you press a button? Get involved! Does Courland, does the Bishopric of Riga decide, I'm involved in the colonization of the New World? And then they go sail. Anyway. I don't think there's much less to be seen. That's interesting here. Please no childish 3D graphics. Yes, yeah. Truly, this individual must be... Why are you not loading? Truly, this individual must be responding to my personal, most enlightened opinion. Yes. CK3 and Vicky Paradox took a path that a visual deal. Don't like all the big buttons and the animations feel weird. It's okay to have modern UI. Don't like it. Oh, it's not in reference to the characters, I think. Ah, yes, EU3.
Oh,
Goodness.
boy.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Wow. Well, yeah, I do. They're using 3D graphics the whole time, but just please, not the characters, please.
That is gorgeous.
And here we go again. Yes. Doc, what must we say? Doc, what must we say to this heretic who has infiltrated the stream and is explaining their other opinion on mission trees?
Oh no.
This Japard's person does not like mission trees.
Mission trees are fine. You don't need to, like, if you think they're already, just ignore them.
Rather have a system tied to the estates. I don't know what sort of system that is tied to estates could replicate the same sort of things that mission trees allow you to accomplish. Because, especially from the perspective of the three of us are modders, of course, that's what the title of these streams are. From a modding standpoint, there is an absurd number of things that you're capable of making take place. And lots of direction that you can have given to players to make different games and start positions interesting, as opposed to feeling the same by having missions. Hence, we're talking about our mod for CK3, and one of the reasons that so many people like said mod in the first place is all of the unique decisions that various characters can take depending on their locations, and some of them lead into each other, such as the Huzmark event chain, where he has all of his decisions that lead one into the other. Same with Aragorn. You ignored mission trees, and glitched EV. You ignore mission trees often just to make your own goals. Yeah, yeah. I don't see anything that's wrong with that.
They don't force you to do anything. Like, yeah, you don't get cool number, but if the mission tree didn't exist, you wouldn't get cool number anyways.
That's how I feel on that subject. They allow you to add interesting, again, especially when it comes to mods. They allow you to add lore and direction very easily. It's a very easy way to add like ways for people to read about the plot and adding direction for certain nations to go. But I suppose that is probably all of the stuff for us to be discussing here.
We could probably wrap up.
I suppose.
Minting capacity restricted by supply of silver.
Spread of New World RGOs to the old Ireland market. There ain't no Ireland market. I'm sorry, guy with Irish flag. There's no Irish market. Y'all.
Have an Irish flag.
There is no Irish market at GameStart. You want one? Make your own. Pick up your pants and stop and grab the nearest one area.
What would the Irish market even contain? They don't even have potatoes yet.
Right next to Ireland market. Spread of New World RGOs. It hasn't happened yet. There's nothing worth having. Nothing worth having there. Trees. They've got trees. And some swamps and lochs. Got fish. Plenty of fish. That's a dating app. Plenty of fish, I think. There is no Irish market. Yes. Well, if you see a kid named Irish Market, I tell you he does not exist. Or he won't for very long. Alright. But automated warfare. Yeah, and there's yet again, please don't have mission trees / focus trees in the game. Yeah. Response from Jepards. I was hoping for this before we end. Put it this way, the English kings didn't fight the French because of mission trees. The English nobility did want to put them on the French throne and had lands in France. That's a very specific example of something that could theoretically pop up dynamically. If you where you could have the estates say, "Ah, yes, you have a claim to this country and you should attack." But it would be so janky and weird to have that set up where, like, what? You just talk to the nobles and the noble estate is like, and the noble estate says, "Ah, yes, you have not been involved in this whatsoever, but due to feudalism, you have a claim to this country and should have a personal union with them. Therefore, you should declare war on..." And you would be playing as, like, Navarre. And it would say, you must make this country in Ireland into your personal union because you have ancestral claim to their land. You know,
you could just also wait for them to have, in EU4 at least, you could just wait for them to have an heir with a weak claim and just press claim throne.
but there's gonna be...
Mission tree not required.
There is no... There is not in EU4, for example, yeah. The necessity for mission tree to accomplish that goal.
So that one thread I was interested in, Joffrey, gold and silver will impact minting capacity in effect.
Oh, you did actually want to look at that one?
I did actually look at that. I did actually look at that one. It does have an effect.
I imagined it would. I mean, I kind of just assumed that it was a case of you can only mint if you've got the stuff. And it's just one of the things you can do with it. I didn't think
More
that was
metal.
a question. Gold and silver will impact minting capacity and effect, yeah. Huh. Well, grab the mines, boys! And start printing coins.
Okay. I think we can about wrap up, maybe.
Yes. I don't want to drag this out too long, but again, if Japards, if you would like to continue discussing the topic of the mission trees, again, I have the Discord server that we hang out in, linked in the description, and you could stop by. We hang out in VC there a lot. If you like talking in voice chat, you can pop in there and say hi. If not, you could just type in general. We can have a chat. Or I'll see you on another stream. But for now, we'll be wrapping this up here. Vector is well and truly fallen asleep.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
You don't hear my snoring because I mute myself.
But yes. I thank you all for watching, and I'll hope to see you next time, which is relatively soon. I'll be talking about the next map of the Baltic soon. But yes, now, thank you, and goodbye.